Hello, I'm Scunny, a City Skylines player based in the UK. I focus on relaxed, creative building that balances aesthetics while exploring the game's mechanics. Today, we're back in Middlesfjord, a city located on the scenic Windy Fjords map. In this episode, we will further develop our public transport infrastructure by constructing a dedicated tramway with an overpass. In addition, we will undertake a project to redesign the local park and enhance the East End neighbourhood. Last week we built a boulevard that runs through our old town. It looks to be holding up quite well. We've got a couple of trams coming and going. The winter is insatiable. We just have lots and lots of snow. So we're going to have another wintry episode. But again, like I said, it does affect some of the game mechanics. So I'm going to include it just so that we get the true vanilla experience. Let's jump over to our other build from the episode. Is this protected bus lane, this protected turn, holding up pretty well as well. This week I wasn't expecting to be working on any specific projects because we were waiting on the new economy patch to come out. So I was going to see how things were going to cope with all the changes. However, since that's been delayed, I'd like to work on a small project nearby to our bus station and continue the theme of upgrading our public transport infrastructure. So in the last episode we encountered some significant traffic jams along this intersection here. So we have quite a lot of vehicles turning into this is the East End neighbourhood, and the reason why that is we've got 3 bus stops in close sequence. So we've got one on Heather Street on the left side here, then we have another one on Underhill Street, which I believe then turns left into the neighbourhood, and then we have another one that goes straight down and deeper into the city up here. So you can imagine there's lots of public transport moving through this area. Additionally, we also have this tram line that runs the length of this avenue, and it comes up to this roundabout here and turns into the industrial estate. I tried to fix the traffic by adjusting some of these lanes, adding a few more here, and I also removed the roundabout at the time just so that we didn't have that right turn blocked. However, I've added it just so that we've got a little bit more flow in the area. We've got very few lanes, especially on this avenue here. We've only got the 2 tram lanes, and then we've got 1 vehicle lane heading out, and then it changes to 4 lanes of traffic further up to the bridge. I'm not really a fan of the way the tram crisscrosses across the lanes. I don't think that's very believable. It's quite dangerous. So in today's episode, I'd like to revamp this intersection and give more priority to the trams, and hopefully at the same time resolve some of the flow for vehicles too. We can also take a look at this intersection down here and see if we can make some minor adjustments. I think we could turn off this left turn. It's going into an alley road, which isn't very important, so I don't think it deserves to have a full lane dedicated to it. So now that we have more space for vehicles turning and also going straight on, and if they need to head down into this lane, which doesn't really go anywhere, just to this car park, they can do a loop around the block. I also want to pay attention to the park. This is the East End Park. It's not the most original name, I know, but this is probably one of the last remaining green spaces in this area. And when it was first built, I didn't really give it the care and attention it deserves. And now that the city has built up quite significantly, I think it's time to make this a little bit more customized, a little bit more interesting to walk around. place some new trees and bushes, some new pathways. To achieve our goals today, we plan to utilise some of the different road types to our advantage and create a tram bypass and improve service in the area. Additionally, I'd like to focus on enhancing the park. So let's get to work. Okay, we'll first start by upgrading this portion of the avenue to use the 6-lane divided road. So that gives us 2 lanes of traffic going in either direction for regular vehicles, and then we have a central medium for trams. I'm going to remove some of these pathways so we've got room to work. And let's remove this pedestrian overpass for now, and we will want to put something back over here in the future. That's quite a vital connection into our industrial estate. Next up, I'm going to upgrade this path to the 2-lane highway and just bring that as close as possible to these car parks. And then let's grab the tram road. Let's line that up with the central medium, and let's bring this out and raise it up to 7.5 meters. Looks like we got a little bit of conflict, so let's grab our upgrade tool and let's move down this highway road a little bit, turning off the snapping so that we've got full flexibility. So that's as close as it will go to the car park. Let's grab the double tram track again and see if we can plug that in. And we want to go up to 7.5 so that we can clear the road on the other side. Let's just pull it back a little bit from the roundabout. Let's see if we can fit in a medium roundabout. Oh yeah, plenty of room there. And we can grab the highway road again. Let's grab the 2-lane one-way highway, and let's see if we can pull this across here. Looks like we've got a little bit of conflict, so let's just pull out a little bit further. Okay, let's turn off the snap to geometry and just do it freeform. And it looks like we're losing that bottom road. You can see it's turning grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build half the road first and then build the second half, and you can see that it preserves the road at the bottom. And now we can upgrade this bottom road here, and you can see it's doing the same thing. It's removing the top road. So let's cut this road in 2 by double clicking it, grabbing the upgrade again, and then let's just upgrade this in 2 halves and pull that as close as possible to the new tram track. And that's probably as close as we can get it, which is pretty damn close if I can say so myself. We don't have a retaining wall here. It's such a small detail in a larger picture. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Next up, I'd like to upgrade this road, this bridge leading over to probably one of our busiest intersections in the city. So we'll see how this manages. I do want to upgrade this entire road to have a tram medium through the middle, but we'll leave this portion up here by the main train station for another episode. So let's just upgrade this and see if we can get this to upgrade without many issues. Let's grab the 6-lane divided road, and hey, look at that. It's allowing us to do it without any issues. Great. Let's see where we want this to line up. So we want to be upgrading the south side of the road, and let's just drag this all the way through. Brilliant. I thought that would be much more difficult. So we'll get that in. So now we've got this dedicated medium for trams. It should allow for better flow of traffic. Wait a minute. I don't think that's going to be suitable for the trains, is it? Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, I was able to use the upgrade tool just to shift it over a little bit, so I'm pleased with that result. But down here you can see we've got this jolt in the road. but that's okay. I want to remove this road, this portion of road, well, at least a part of it. So I'm going to grab the two-way highway again, and we're going to upgrade it, and let's see how far we can upgrade it. Let's put it there for now. It's not perfect, but we'll get back to that. And let's grab the tram road again, and let's go over this roundabout. Bump it up to 7.5 meters. There we go, it's happy with that. Let's give the roundabout some space because we want to add some connections to it. And then we want to come into the center of this avenue road here. Let's go straight out 46 meters. And then let's see if we can snap to one of the guidelines. I think that's the middle of the avenue, and then see if we can connect it up. So we've got some conflict here. I can see that it would work if that bottom road wasn't in the way. So let's shift over that bottom road. So it was about 47 meters, and then it was wherever we can connect up. And plug that one in. And let's see if we've got a nice smooth ramp. Yeah, that looks pretty smooth to me. Nice sweeping curve into the bridge. And how about in this direction? Have we got any lumps and bumps? No, it looks nice and smooth. Pretty pleased with that. Okay, now we need to connect these roads back up, and we're going to have them come into the roundabout. Let's start with the one-lane highway because they're a little bit more flexible. And then I think we need to redraw this bottom one. There we go, we managed to be able to get that one in. And let's see if we can pull that in a little bit closer. I think that's the best we can do. Let's have a look to see if those hills are manageable. So this off-ramp looks to be fairly smooth, and the on-ramp looks pretty good to me too. I think we got very lucky there. Now I see we've got some lights, so let's turn those off. And we don't want the crossing here either. And yeah, this tram overpass is looking pretty good for now. Take a look at this car park because it no longer has a road connection, even though roads are accessing it. You can see here they can also drive through the two car parks as they've got a invisible road connection between the two. But I don't want this pop-up to just be floating around my city, so let's remove the car park and see if we can use this land for a little bit of development instead. Let's grab one of the alley roads, have this snap alongside the car park here, and let's use some of these snapping tools. And maybe we just join this up to that road there, completely circle it. And then yeah, I think we can put a nice office building in here. Coming up here, I think that'll look really nice along this new piece of infrastructure. Let's take a look at this road leading into the neighborhood. I'm not a fan of the angle coming into the roundabout. I'd rather it be more of a perpendicular 90-degree angle. So let's redraw this. Next up, I'd like to re-establish this pedestrian overpass, which is a really good spot if you're interested into train spotting. Lots of cargo shipments coming through here. But I don't want to be going over the new road system. I think that would be far too high. Let's see what that would look like. Yeah, so you're looking at 15 meters high. I wonder if you can get a little bit lower. No, 15 meters high is what we would need to use. So we'll have a look at that. Yep, I think that just looks far too silly, and we're not going to be able to create a ramp that connects these two. So let's remove that for now. Instead, I'm going to create a couple of crossings on these roads here, which is probably not great for traffic flow, but I can't really see any other solution other than maybe building an underpass for the pedestrians. But if you've ever been in one of these urban areas and had to go underneath a pedestrian underpass, they can be quite daunting, and I want this pathway to be well lit, public and safe to walk on. Let's first start by drawing a pathway down from this ramp, and we'll just simply go down to ground level. Let's go for 37 meters. I think that's about right. And then let's just go straight across these roads here. Let's see if we can create a simple pedestrian path. Oh, before I do that, I think I do want to upgrade this side to be 2 lanes and take advantage of the 2 lanes that we've got up here so that we're moving as much traffic as possible. Yeah, the 2 lanes look good, especially as it's coming into the 2-lane avenue. We got quite a lot of traffic flow here. So yeah, let's grab the pedestrian road again, and let's just bring this straight across and see what that looks like. Now I can imagine it'd be quite daunting to walk in these paths. Oh, we've got some very strange artifacts here. Let's try do that again. You know what I've realised? The reason why we're getting these strange artifacts is because the pedestrian paths are trying to connect to a pedestrian path on the road model. So there's usually a raised curb for pedestrians on a regular street, but there isn't on a highway, so we're getting this strange visual effect here. So what we'll do is we'll upgrade this section of road to be a street instead. Let's use the 2-lane street, and then we can get some nice footpaths coming through here instead, so we don't have any of these strange artifacts. We got the streets in now, so they now have pedestrian sidewalks, and we should be able to connect this up without much issue. And let's drop this down to the road. Yeah, much cleaner connection now. You can see it's doing that little jump up for the curb, and then on this side, I mean, in a real life situation you would want a dropped curb, so I'm not entirely sure what they're doing for wheelchair access in City Skylines. I'd like to see this improved, but for now we will work with what we've got. So let's connect it up on the other side. If you've ever been on these pedestrian crossings, they usually have like a little jolt in the middle just to stop people from cycling straight across. So let's try emulate that by using the complex road tool, and then let's just turn off some of these snapping so we're not fighting with the roads themselves. So let's go out to about here. Let's move this down a little bit and then see if we can plug that back in, and it works. Now we've got a nice little curved footpath going in between these 2 roads, and then we've got this crossing here. Now before I connect this pedestrian crossing into the main city network, the footpath network, let's first make these a little bit safer by adding some lights, which you'll probably hate because it's just going to cause congestion. How come it's not letting me add lights? Is it because we've got the roundabout here? Okay, that one's not working. That one we can add lights, but this one for some reason we can't. Let's see if we can fix that by adding one of these ghost nodes and then pulling out the traffic light tool again. No, it doesn't like that. Let's see if we can use one of the alley roads just to really force a node in, and then no, it doesn't like that. Doesn't like that at all. Wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. Is that because we don't have a footpath coming out the other side? That's probably why. Let's grab the footpath and just pull it out a little bit. And now we should be able to add the lights in. There we go, yeah. So you have to have a pedestrian path on both sides of the street for it to work. Now you're probably thinking, more congestion, why are you doing that? Well, there's this waterfall effect when it comes to traffic in your city, and you can already see that this intersection up here is very heavily used, and if we're just going to allow all the traffic to move freely all the way up to that intersection, it's always going to be overwhelmed. So what I like to do is to create these traffic traps through the city, and I use them all along my main streets, my main avenues coming through and into the city. Is I'll use lights and I'll use complex intersections just to slow the traffic down, and once they get here, the traffic that's been waiting should have cleared by that point. Now this is particularly bad right now because we've been editing a lot of the roads, and this will clear up. It's also rush hour, so this isn't a true test because we're still building and working on this area. Once we've allowed it to run for a couple of days, I imagine it will clear up and look a lot better. So returning back to this pedestrian path, I want to add a tennis court here. In fact, I think a tennis court might be too large for this area. So let's go for the basketball instead. There we go, and I think we've got a little bit of space here. We might be able to squeeze in a few more shops. So let's rework this footpath here and see what zoning tiles we're given. I'm just going to go for the low density business, and we'll just pop those in here. And that gives us some space to add a pedestrian path behind it, connecting these up again. And here we have a nice new pedestrian footpath network. Though the hot dog stand for this basketball court is looking a little bit funky. I wonder if there's a way we can just bring this closer to the road so that it's not on such a steep hill. There we go, it looks a little bit better. It's pretty good from a distance. It's not perfect, but we can work with it. And it's great, we can see people are already starting to use our pedestrian network coming through here. People are waiting to get across the road. And yeah, we can already see there's quite a lot of traffic building up, but it's not too bad. We've still got plenty of capacity at the back of this road here. I'd be more worried if we were backing up into this intersection, but it's looking okay. We are going to have to take a look at this intersection in a future episode. I think we probably need to make some major changes here. I've considered maybe even stacking some roads along here, but we're not seeing that much traffic on, what's this called, Hickory Street, so perhaps that's not needed. It's mainly just crossing traffic coming in and out of the city that's causing issues. This protected turn is looking really good, not got any issues here. Maybe that's something we need to implement down here. Anyway, back to today's project. Now we've got this green space at the side of the roundabout, which I think we could use. We've got this business here. I think we could possibly bring a road out from the roundabout and add a few more properties. Let's grab our alley road. Let's snap it to the side of the building here. And let's bring this out using the 90 degrees tool. And let's go to about here. And then we can use the continuous road tool just to create a nice right angle turn. And then bring that into the roundabout. So we've got a nice little 4x4 space here. Let's use that for some low density business. Maybe we'll get a petrol station. That'd be quite nice in this area. Now we've got this junction up here, which I think doesn't make sense having all these lanes crossing. If we've got people coming along this road and they want to head to this car park, we could have them go straight on and then go round the roundabout and back. And the same on this side, we don't want cars coming out of the car park and able to cross the tram tracks. I think that just causes more room for accidents, and we could just have them go around the roundabout and come back up. So let's grab our road tools and let's turn off right turns here and right turns on this side as well. And there we go, we've got nice clean tram tracks. We also have lights here which I don't think are necessary, so let's turn those off as well. And yeah, that looks good. Now we just need to work on this park and connect up some of the pathways. And just in time for some live play, the snow has returned. I just kept things fairly simple with a few of these pathways coming through here, connecting up some of the main intersections where people will be crossing. So we've got this area down here which leads to this low rent housing estate. And then we've got another road here, Belmont Lane, that is connected. Hillside Street's connected, and we created this small little pedestrian avenue with these bushes alongside the dog park. And we've kept all the buildings, so we've got the community pool here. I softened the terrain around it. I kept the woodland on this side of the park around another dog park. Okay, so this is the large playground. Sorry anyone that's got kids for calling them dogs, but the large playground here, and then we've got the dog park in the woods, which I think is actually more appropriate. And yeah, I continued and densified the woodland here, adding a bunch of more trees, and then all these kind of converge into a single crossing up here where we've got access to a bus line and a tram line. And yeah, it's a pretty well connected area. This office has upgraded to include a car park, which I think is appropriate being on the outskirts of the downtown area. This car park is so popular. I've even maxed up the fee to around about $50. It just shows that parking is very much needed in this area. And I am eyeing up this plot of land here. We might be able to add some more parking here. Maybe even the multi-story if it fits. We'll have to try that out. Maybe in the next one. You can see here we've got the underground parking facility, which is also almost full as well. We've got the charge at $10 for that one. It's not as steeply priced, but it's not as close to the city as this one over here is. So you can see why this one is a lot more popular. Overall, I'm pretty happy with today's project. I really like this tram overpass that we've built here. We've got these pedestrian crossings with lights, which seem to be working. We're not getting too many backups, and all the traffic that we had earlier has cleared out now. We got this little basketball court down here, which is quite useful being so close to all this dense residential population. And we also added a couple of new stores here as well. Nothing too big, so we're not generating too much new traffic. And yeah, I think this row of homes here is probably going to become quite valuable now, being so close to the park and having a view. They do have a view of the new tram overpass, but the view before it wasn't that much different. we have the rail line and the woodland just over yonder. We've got this low commercial here, which I think kind of looks out of place now with such a large car park. So I wonder whether we can upgrade that. Let's see if we can change that to have some offices at the back of the property. And then let's change the front of that to mixed use and see if we can get a couple new buildings popping in. Brilliant. That's worked perfectly. And we've got these little office windows here that are going to be able to have a nice view momentarily while there's construction going on. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the result of today's project. Let me know if you've got any good names for our park. At the moment it's simply the East End Park. However, I'm open to new ideas. In the area we've got the school district, which I think we've been reserving this space for a new university or a college, so I look forward to working on that. And we can also extend this tram line down or even widen the avenue to come around here. We've got this bypass road that comes around the back of the city and connects up to our port and then out into the hills here, which can be quite a frustrating route if you're having to drive along local roads. Maybe what we can look at doing is creating a new bypass that comes through this farm, connects up to our main avenue here, and then we'll have a pretty official orbital road on this side of the city. Let me know your thoughts on that. We should be playing in the new patch in the next episode, so we should be trying to balance our economy. At the moment, if we have a quick look, we've got a surplus of 43 million. So we should be able to withstand any major changes, but I believe the income tax is going to change as well, so I expect this to change quite a lot. But it'll be fun and we'll try it out. This is our taxation so far. We tax uneducated and poorly educated residents the least, since they don't have as much access to high paid work. Our commercial is a little bit all over the place. I set the lodging down to 0 to see if we can promote some hotels, but we haven't got many yet. I think we've got 2. So in the new patch I'm looking forward to seeing some more hotels developing. If we look at our production, we've got a balance of most materials, a little bit of deficit for grain, which always seems to be the case, and a little bit of surplus of lumber, which is nice. Down here we always have a deficit of food goods, so I've always been trying to encourage the production of that in the city. But we also have quite a large deficit of textiles too. I'm not sure why. Is that probably with people buying clothes? And then if we look at the immaterial goods, yeah, this is where it's a little bit silly, and we just have like a crazy surplus of software, and I think this is where we're getting most of the money. So I believe this is a bug which will be fixed in the next patch. So yeah, looking forward to it, and I'm happy with the result. We've got a view here of the public transport running through the area, which is quite interesting. I'll leave this on the screen momentarily. I appreciate you joining me today on this project. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments and likes that everyone's giving, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.